I have a PhD, which means I have a pimp and hose degree. So basically, I work with lots of women in my job. I've always had lots of women. I've experienced every type of woman. I know the game. I can sit down with a girl, and after the first date, I'll tell you inside out if she's girlfriend material, she's a hoe. I can just read it. I just know. I've had every kind, so I understand the game. But all women do the same thing. There's a couple universal traits amongst females, and one of them is how they argue. And women have a very, very, it's an obvious argument tactic, but they all do it exactly the same. And the tactic is subversion. So with a female, if you have a point to discuss, her aim is not to prove her point right, because she can't, because 99% of the time she's wrong. So her aim is to muddle the point, or switch points, or fuck up the argument, so that it's very difficult for you to lay out a logical answer. If you say 2 + 2 is 4, then she loses the argument. She goes, yeah, but what if the plus, what if we turn to the side and it's a times? Or what if it's -4? Or what, and just starts adding in irrelevant bullshit. And you're like, no, 2 + 2 is 4. In this particular circumstance, 2 + 2 is 4. But her main aim is to subvert, is to just completely and utterly fuck with the argument so it's no longer straightforward. So I said this to someone the other day, so I'm making a video about it. When I argue with women, which I try not to do, because it's a waste of time, because unlike men, women are not interested in the truth. When you argue with a man, you're looking for truth. Women don't care about the truth. Most of the time, they're arguing you for attention or for some other fucking emotional bullshit. They don't give a fuck if they're right or wrong. A man is embarrassed to argue a point if he's wrong. Women are happy to argue if they're wrong. They don't have any shame. They don't have any honors. They don't give a fuck. I just want to argue. I don't care if I'm wrong. I don't care if I look stupid. I just want to argue. So when I argue with females, I said, I only ask yes or no questions. What do you mean? What do I mean? Yes or no questions. Because they can't subvert the argument, and they can't dilute the argument, and they can't add to the argument, and they can't change subject with yes or no questions. So when a bitch wants to get fresh, I say, cool, you want to talk about this, we're going to talk about this. But if you really believe you have a point, well, I'm going to ask you yes or no questions. You can answer yes or no. If you're right, it should be very easy for you to prove yourself right, answering yes or no questions. And when they either refuse to do that, or by the question sit there and don't want to answer you. Well, I did it. So talk about some other shit. That's how you just break them down. So look, you can't answer yes or no questions because you're completely and utterly wrong. With females, you have to find a way to keep them on one track, because it doesn't matter how many times, if you're going to start using language and talking, they're just going to fucking mix it all up and talk about some other dumb shit. If the woman won't answer yes or no questions, you've only got one tool as a man. And I say this a lot. There's a couple guys who I'm talking to, a couple dudes who I coach on how to get girls and all this shit. As a man, you only have one weapon. You only have one currency. This is not the olden days. You can't fucking even shout at a girl. You only have one weapon. And that weapon is that females like attention. And that if she likes you, she wants your attention, because your attention's high value. The only thing you can do is shut that shit off. It's all you've got. My woman starts getting fresh. I say, okay, I'm going to be stupid. This XYZ, true or false? Well, true. XYZ, yes or no? Well, yeah. So then you're wrong. And they either sit there and go, okay, or they don't reply and calm down, or if they get too fresh, yeah, but you know what? Blah, 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 blah. They start getting too fresh. The only thing you can do is just not reply. Just not answer them. Just cut the attention off completely. Because what they really want is the attention. It's too easy to get in a trap with women, and I've seen it a million times where, especially if you're a busy man, I'm telling you, I'm a busy dude. So if you're out there, you're hustling, you're making money, you're busy, you don't often text your girl that much because you're busy. So when she wants attention, she knows, she starts to learn, well, if we have an argument, he'll sit here and text me for 2 hours arguing with me. But if we're not arguing, he's busy working. So the only way she can get your attention is through a negative path. And then what you're going to end up having is a girl who starts arguments all the fucking time because she wants attention. What you need to do is train her, and you got to be, even when you're busy, it's a bit annoying. When things are going good and smooth, you got to give her lots of attention, message her all the time, ask how she is, da-da-da-da. But the second she becomes a dickhead, boom, cut it off. And I don't mean, you can't tell her you're cutting it off. You can't be like, I'm not going to message you till you calm down. No, none of that shit. Just fucking ignore her. Let her sit there on her own for 2 fucking days. If you're worried about during those 2 days she's going to fuck someone else or some stupid shit, then you shouldn't be with her anyway. So let her sit there for 2 days, and eventually when you decide to talk to her again, say, yeah, you were being rude. I don't have time for that in my life. I'm busy. I'm running a business. I'm busy. And let her learn the hard way. When I act nice, I get attention. When I act stupid, I don't get attention. That's the simplest way to get a girlfriend who behaves themselves. I've had guys say to me, I'm out here trying to find a good girl. that ain't so. I don't believe in the finding a good girl. You can find a good blueprint of a girl. You can find a girl who's susceptible to your way of life and your thinking. But in general, as a man, if you want a woman to be a particular way, you ain't gonna find it. You gotta make it. You're not gonna find a woman who's a certain way. You gotta make a woman be a certain way. So I've seen it a million times before where dudes give their girl the most attention during arguments, and the rest of the time when everything's cool, they're like, okay, love you, I'm busy. That ain't the way to do it. You gotta flip reverse it. It's a bit annoying, but you gotta flip reverse it because she has to know when she gets fresh, that tension shuts off. Literally, when my girl wants to step to me, the first thing she says is, look, please don't ignore me, but, because she knows. She has to ask at the beginning with a please. Because she knows if I don't like what she's going to say, I won't even just fucking reply to her. Fuck you. I don't have to talk to you. I don't explain myself to you. 4-time kickboxing world champion, self-made millionaire, 6'3", sexy as a motherfucker. I don't have to explain shit to you. I don't give a fuck what you found out. But please don't ignore me. Please don't ignore me. But you fucked this girl. Yeah, I did. And I don't know why it's anything to do with you, because you're still my main chick. That's a bit on the side. Whatever. If you want to talk about it, we'll talk about it in my own time. And if you ask me really nicely and politely, if you're going to come to me getting fresh, you're going to get nothing but fucking blanked. That's how you have to run your shit.